The Olympics are stupid. They're stupid. There's too many sports, and they're stupid, and no one's involved in it. It used to be a cool thing where you'd have athletes from all over the world come together, and the countries compete against one another, and you got Miracle on Ice and all that stuff. And you got the cool basic sports. It starts in Greece or Rome or wherever it started. But they're not cool anymore. And I don't know when the transition exactly happened. I used to be excited for the Olympics when I was a kid. The Summer Olympics, the Winter Olympics are even more boring in my opinion. But the Summer Olympics even are stupid now too. And there's a big amount of reasons why. A very big amount of reasons why. And let's talk about it. Because I'm sick of it even getting press. Like, why are people pretending to care about the Olympics anymore? It's not interesting or exciting to watch. It's just a bunch of people whining about one thing or another. And they have their stupid ceremony, and they have the dumbest sports in the world. And there's always controversy with who's taking what drugs and who's doing what. And it's just not fun anymore. And they're not enjoyable to watch. Do you guys enjoy the Olympics? I don't at all. I don't know. It's gone downhill. And I think it was really highlighted this year. Are they even still on right now? I don't know. By the time this episode comes out, I have no idea if the Olympics are even still on because I'm not paying attention to it at all because the Olympics are stupid. And I like the idea. But the execution thus far has stunk. I guess not thus far. I guess that's a bad way of using the English language, Matt. Use it better. It's the last, I'd say, just 10 years, I guess. It's just not fun to watch. And that's really highlighted, like I said, with some of the stuff going on. So we have what's her name, who it starts out before the Olympics even start. Something happened with Russia, right? Where they got kicked out for doping, which is the least surprising thing I've ever heard. And they're using whatever hell drugs they use because Russians are crazy people. And then what's that chick's name who got kicked out of the track and field? That awesome sprinter, Sha'Carri Richardson. There you go. Just looked it up. Boom. Sha'Carri Richardson suspended from the Olympics for smoking weed, which I have a two-pronged approach to this. I'm obviously upset about it. I think weed is not a concern. I think it's less dangerous than alcohol. I don't know why weed isn't legal nationwide and across the entire world. There's some arguments to be made against it, but most of the arguments against it are stupid, and it's just people fear-mongering. And for the most part, weed's fine. And I have no problem. If you want to smoke weed, smoke weed. It's not a performance-enhancing drug. If we had people going out there and if he's taking an Adderall before running, which may be allowed, I don't know. I'm going to be talking out of my ass this whole episode, but that's one thing. Or if you're using some other kind of performance-enhancing drug, that's one thing. But marijuana, we're kicking her out of the Olympics for marijuana. Change the rules. That's stupid. And now some people make the argument of it can mask other drugs, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't know enough about that, but I still think it's stupid. Okay, let her be. Let her run. Not that I really care. It's not like I would have watched it anyways. I mean, track is one of the only interesting parts of the Olympics, but why are we kicking her out for that? Same thing happened to Michael Phelps when he was smoking weed or whatever. And now here's the thing. He didn't get kicked out. He was suspended or something. But with Sha'Carri Richardson, the only issue I have with this is you know the rules, right? You know the rules. You broke the rules. Okay, what did you think was going to happen? You got kicked out. You don't play by the rules. What do you expect? And that's the other side of the argument where I'm looking at it okay, you shouldn't be kicked out in the first place. Change the rules. But if those are the rules, those are the rules. Just hold off. Do some breathing exercises. Have a beer. She said, because I think her excuse was she had anxiety or something happened to someone in her family. Which I get, whatever, you're under a lot of stress and maybe weed's your way of taking the stress away a little bit or relaxing. Totally fine with that. But you can't take a drug test when the rules clear and fail it when the rules for marijuana, when the rules clearly state, hey, you can't do that. Right. So that's the first thing that's obnoxious about this whole Olympics bullshit. And now everyone's up in arms as well. That was the first controversial thing. And then everyone's all up in arms about Simone Biles. And I don't know how this made national news. She's like the badass gymnastics chick on the American team. If you don't know, you must be living on a rock, must be living under a rock, which, you know, pack your bags, move from the rock you're living under. But she pulled out or something due to mental health or whatever, because she said, I can't participate. I'm having mental health issues. And everyone just started pretending to care, like they give a shit about gymnastics or the Olympics. And they're like, well, you can't pull out. How dare you pull out and not participate for your team? This is, we're competing against the whole world. Hey, cool it, guys. Who fucking cares? Who cares? The Olympics are stupid. I don't give a shit if she pulls out. I don't give a shit if America wins or loses in this. The Olympics are dumb. I can't rally behind it anymore. The sports are stupid. The rules are stupid. And so now we're all pretending to care that she decided not to be. Hey, you're allowed to do that. If you don't want to participate, don't participate. It's a free country. Do whatever you want. Now, is it a lame move to pull out? If you're an athlete, an elite athlete like that, yeah, I think it's a little lame. I think you could have a little bit more mental fortitude to push through and do it. But I don't know the whole situation. I don't know what's going on in her life. I'm not going to pretend to know what's going on in her life. At face value, I take it at face value. Yeah, it seems a little lame, but I don't really care at the end of the day. So I don't give a shit. And now everyone who also doesn't give a shit, who hasn't participated in the Olympics or has ever really watched them or given a shit, is not pretending to care. And they get on Twitter and they're pretending to be mad because she's not doing this thing. Hey, shut up. You didn't care about it before, and now you've politicized it somehow because Simone Biles didn't want to participate. She can do whatever she wants. It's a non-issue. The Olympics are dumb. And gymnastics is stupid. All the Olympic sports are stupid. We need a revamping, is my point. Okay? We need a revamping of the Olympics. We need to make it cooler. I would love to have Vince McMahon from the WWE come in and just do a once-over and just renovate and revitalize and give a brand refresh to the Olympics and make it better. Because we're better than this, guys. So let's take a look at some of these sports, because gymnastics is stupid, okay? There's some interesting elements to it that require athleticism. I get it. But there's a lot of sports in the Olympics that we should delete. So indulge me, if you will. Let's go. Let's check out the Olympic sports list. Okay. And I'm going to fix it for you right here. Right here on the What the Heck podcast, I'm going to fix the Olympics in front of you, in front of your very own face. And you guys are going to come away from this episode and go, hey, you did this, Matt, and I'm proud of you. And I'm happy because you did it. Now I'm interested in the Olympics again. So, oh my God, there's a lot. And oh boy, there are some really stupid ones in here. All right, starting off, archery. And this is going to go in alphabetical order, it looks like. Yeah. So we start with archery. I have no problem with archery. Keep it. That's awesome. It's old. It's traditional. You're shooting arrows. That requires athletic ability. People still do that today, whether you're shooting on a range or you're shooting an animal. I'm here for it. Archery sounds cool. Now, could they make it a little bit more exciting? Yes. And the way we could do that is you shoot balloons filled with pee in the air, right? Someone throws a balloon filled with pee in the air and you have to shoot it. And I don't know why it would be filled with pee, but to me, that just makes it sound more exciting. My ears are already perked up about that. Instead of just shooting it at a boring target, we shoot it at a balloon with pee. Or maybe you have to shoot a bird in the air as it flies. Okay. You shoot a chicken. You teach a chicken how to fly. You shoot it out of the air, and then we eat the chicken later that night. To me, that makes sense. We're recycling the chicken carcass to feed the Olympic Village. And it looks cooler shooting something out of the air. Now, I already fixed it. Okay. Archery's fixed. It didn't need much fixing, but we fixed it. So thank you, Matt. You're welcome. Next. Oh, God. Next. Oh, boy. Artistic swimming. We're deleting that. We're deleting artistic swimming from the Olympics. We don't need that. That's only been in since 1984, it looks like. Archery's been in there since pretty much the beginning, 1900s. Artistic swimming? What? Is that like the synchronized swimming things they do? Hey, that's not a sport. You're just dancing in the water. You're just dancing in the water. And that's dumb. And that's not a sport. And we're deleting that from the Olympics because it's stupid and no one watches that. So bye. Hey, bye, artistic swimming. And that's one that we already got rid of. See ya later. And I'm deleting it from my list. Baboosh. Okay. Done. Hey, nice work, Matt. You fixed another sport. Let me just make sure real quick. Sick swimming. Olympics 2021. Yep. And they make these weird faces in the water. Oh, I hate this. Boy, do I hate this. Yeah. Ew, dude. If you Google artistic swimming Olympics 2021, it's just pictures of people making weird faces. Hey, delete this immediately. Worst sport ever. Okay. What the next on the list makes absolutely no sense. It's just called athletics. Hey, that's all of the Olympics. You just described all of the Olympics. What is athletics? Is that like track and field? What is athletics? That's okay. You delete that, whatever it is, because you call it something else, because you're just describing all of the sport that exists in the Olympics. The entire point is athletics. You can't have one of the sports you're doing be called athletics. Be more specific. Hey, Olympics, be more specific. So I'm getting rid of that. And if it is track and field, and you can't even Google search it because it's too generic by typing in athletics Olympics 2021. Let me see if I can find more info on this, because this is actually infuriating me now. You can't just put athletics. Let's see. Oh, it is track. Okay. Call it track. We're renaming that one. So that's how we fix that one. Call it track and field. And if we are analyzing track and field, then track and field's fine. Although the field part of track and field, we could do some help there. Long jump, that's the dumbest thing ever. At least change it to make it more interesting. Like have spikes with like a big, gap in between the person and the sand. And then there's crocodiles underneath, or, spikes. So if you miss it, you die. Now we have stakes, and now it's more exciting. And I think that's fair and logical that's how we update the athletics portion of the Olympics. And that's what we're going to do. So now I'm benevolent dictator, and I'm renaming athletics to track and field, because obviously, and we're updating long jump to have crocodiles and a big gap, and we're getting rid of shot put, because shot put, it should not be a thing. You're throwing a big, small bowling ball, pushing it against your cheek for some reason. Discus, you can see how far you throw a heavy frisbee. No. Pole vaulting can stay, because pole vaulting is weirdly badass. High jump, I'll let the committee decide on that one. I'll have a committee when I'm benevolent dictator of the world, and they can decide whether or not we keep the high jump. And then all the other ones that I'm forgetting can go. Hurdles are cool, obviously. And then like the sprint, 100-meter sprint's cool. But any long term running, like 400 meters, that's about as high as we'll go. Anything above that, boring and stupid. Bye. Oh, sorry. So I fixed that. Athletics is not track and field. Boom. Done. Next. Badminton. Oops. Hey, badminton's next. Oops. You're goodbye. See you later, badminton, which I hate the name badminton. Now, is it a fun sport? Yes. Should it be in the Olympics? No. It's a niche sport that you play at graduation parties and in retirement communities. That's what badminton is, and it's not an athletic Olympic sport. So we're getting rid of that. We're not even going to update it by badminton. You're not cool enough to be in the Olympics. So see you later. Baseball, that's uniquely American. I do like baseball. It looks like it was just added back this year. I suppose we can keep baseball. It seems a little too American for me, but I guess other countries have adopted it. It's a cool enough sport. And obviously I'm benevolent dictator of the world. I can decide what I want. We'll keep baseball. So we'll keep baseball. Baseball's fine. All right. But we're changing the scoring and the games are shorter. You have 5 innings because 9 innings is way too many and 7 innings is way too many. And we'll do 5. And so the games are shorter. And then the ball's on fire when you pitch the ball just because it would look cool. And then, so boom, fix baseball. Boom, baseball's done. Okay, fix that one. Now, basketball. This one obviously is staying. This one's becoming a worldwide phenomenon. And I'm saying that from the perspective of someone in 1930. I don't know why I said it's becoming a worldwide phenomenon. It is. So we're definitely keeping that, although the teams must be better. You must have to have scored 100 points in a game in the last 6 months to play in the basketball time league of the Olympics. I saw a couple clips of people shooting around and it looked like they were playing pickup basketball. So you have to be good. And if you're not, you don't get to participate. Sorry. But basketball, that's okay. You can stay basketball because you're a classic sport and that actually does require athletics and that's an essential sport. Okay. What's next? What is this sport? Pelota? This does not look real. Basque pelota. Hey, Basque pelota is the name for a variety of court sports played with a ball using one's hand or racket. Nope. Hey, nope. Look up, Google this, BASQUEPELOTA. And that's getting deleted. We're deleting that because the name is stupid and no one's heard of it before. No one's heard of that name. Okay? So goodbye. See you later. It's gone. Hate to break the bad news to you. It's gone. I'm deleting it. And because of the name pretty much and the utensils that you play the game with. Next is boxing. Okay. Boxing can stay because boxing's cool. It's about one of the oldest things in the world. It's just guys fighting each other. So that's easy. We'll keep boxing. But only if there's rounds are not decided by a vote. You have to have knocked someone out. That's how I fix it. And I just fixed the sport boxing. You have to knock someone out. There's no rounds at the end. You go round to round until someone gets knocked out. And I just fixed boxing for you. Boom. I'm good at this. Jesus Christ. Canoeing. Whew. Canoeing? Hey, I can't delete that fast enough. That's not a sport. You're just sitting in a boat paddling around. Bye, canoeing. Goodbye. Now, the only way we could fix this is if it was in a river or a stream and we coupled it with archery and the archers were allowed to shoot arrows at the canoers. Now we're talking. You add an element of danger, shooting arrows at the canoers. That's scary. It's fun for the whole family. And the canoeing people have to worry for their lives. And it's more exciting. So we can keep canoeing with the caveat that there must be arrows shot at you in a river. Okay? So you're on thin ice canoeing, but that's the only way we're keeping it. If not, I'm deleting you from the face of the earth. Canoeing's not a sport. All right? If there's danger involved, maybe. And the next one is obviously getting deleted because it's stupid. And some people will be mad at me. Cricket? No, that's shitty baseball. Cricket's shitty baseball. That's what cricket is. Cricket's stupid baseball with a flat bat. And no one understands the rules. And even if you're in the UK, you don't understand the rules. Nobody understands the rules to cricket. It's stupid and dumb, and it's a stupid name, and baseball's better. And just Google videos of people playing cricket, and you'll never see a cool thing because it's stupid as shit. So bye cricket, I'm deleting you. We already have one sport played with a bat thing, and it's baseball, and baseball's better. And the next one's making my blood boil. And I don't know if this was played this year. Croquet? Bye. Bye, croquet. Hey, who's a professional croquet player is what I really want to know. How rich do you have to be to get into croquet past the age of 7 years old? We had a croquet set when I was a kid. I have no idea why, no clue why we had a croquet set. And it was fun to play until I reached the age of 7.5. And then I thought, oh, this is the stupidest game that's ever been invented. Nope, that's not an Olympic game for sure. We keep cool sports only, and croquet is not cool. Feels like you should go get tea afterwards, or you could drink tea during. Nope, bye. So croquet's gone. Cycling is the next on the list. Now, cycling, first of all, we're not calling it cycling. We're calling it biking. Cycling is what assholes call biking. And I hate cyclists. I already did a rant on this before. Cyclists are dicks. However, bike racing is still racing. So as long as it's a race and there's a potential for crashes and stuff, then I'm in for cycling. But cycling's also kind of on thin ice because it's kind of stupid, but it does require a lot of athletic ability. I will admit that. So we'll keep cycling for now. But you're not allowed to test people for drugs. You have to let them dope all they want, like Lance Armstrong. Okay. Diving. Okay. Now diving, this is an interesting one because diving requires a lot of talent. However, I still think it's boring. Now the amount of memes that come out of this is fantastic. The people who belly flop and fuck up their dives and make it funny because they're stupid idiots. I love that. And that's huge entertainment value. So I think we should keep diving. However, you can make it more interesting by having fire hoops that they have to dive into. And there's a lot of fire elements that I'm going to be involving in my sports for the Olympics when I'm benevolent dictator of the earth. But that's because I'm benevolent dictator of the earth and I can do whatever I want. So shush. Okay. Shush. I can do whatever I want. So we're going to have fire rings. You have to dive through the fire rings. And then if you belly flop, guess what? You're on fire now. Okay. But luckily you're in the water so you can push yourself out. That makes it more interesting. Boom. Just fix diving. Next. Equestrian. This one's tough because it's so lame. You read the name Equestrian is just a sissy name. However, it does take a lot of talent to train a horse into jumping around the way they jump around and controlling a horse. I guess I get that. And I understand where it comes from. It's a little primitive, like we've been riding horses forever as humans. So I guess that's pretty cool. But we need more fire elements involved in equestrian. So instead of jumping over a pole with no fire, we jump over a pole with fire. And maybe, no, that's it. We just add lots of fire elements in the field and then making your horse dance part. No, we're taking that out. That's not part of the sport. That's dumb and boring. We should do racing as well. We're going to add racing, take out the dancing, and that's how we're going to fix equestrian for Olympics. And I think that's a good fix for now. God, there's a lot of sports here. Jesus. Next up is field hockey. We can keep field hockey because regular hockey's dope. And field hockey's just lacrosse for all intents. I know there's going to be some lacrosse guys listening. They're like, it's not the same. It's so different. Shut up. It's the same. And I don't care about the differences. I don't care. But field hockey we can keep because regular hockey's cool. It has a nice little dichotomy between field hockey in the summer, winter hockey in the winter. Cool. We'll keep that. Football. I don't know if this is American football or European football. Either way, we're keeping it. It's a classic sport. Either way, and I'm cool with that. So that's an easy one. Golf. Keep golf. Golf's a cool sport. Add fire in somehow. Like put the holes on fire or something. People are allowed to talk during shots. It's not as quiet. I think that would add an element of intrigue to the sport. So we're going to keep golf, but we're going to add some more fire inside of it to make it more interesting. And now we come to an interesting one, which says gymnastics, which, no. I was talking about athletics earlier. Sorry, I'm an idiot, but gymnastics, no, I'm sorry. Gymnastics, like there's some that are cool, like the handlebar things. I don't know what those are called. The hoopy things. The balance beam is kind of cool, I guess. I guess jumping around the floor is fine. But we're going to take the pizzazz out of it. And we're going to take like the sparkly leotards out and like the ribbons and stuff. No, we're not doing that. That's stupid. You can do the flips and stuff. That's awesome. But like those little finishes they do at the end, when they like throw their hands up in the air. If they're flipping on the ground, no, we're not doing that. And the guys aren't going to wear tights anymore. In fact, you should have to wear a cloak or a robe like a monk. I think that would make it more interesting. And then we'll add fire, obviously, to this as well. We'll put fire near the balance beam, maybe crocodiles on fire under the balance beam. So if you fall off, you're on fire with crocodiles. And then with like the pommel horse and stuff, right by the guy's junk, there's a knife. You know how their wiener gets really close to like the middle of the pommel horse thing. I think that's the name of it, the pommel horse. I don't know. And then for the dancing thing, it's just going to be a trampoline so you can bounce super high and do like 10,000 flips. And then also we're going to raise the height. So you're not allowed to be under 5 feet for anybody because gymnastics people are really tiny. And that'll just add an interesting element to have like, like beefcakes running around doing this stuff because that would be aesthetically hilarious to have a bunch of hot hunks gymnasticking around and then a bunch of like, beefy chicks doing flips and stuff. And that would add an interesting element. And then you had the fire and the crocodiles. Now we're talking. Okay. Now gymnastics is fixed. I fixed gymnastics for you. You're welcome. And now we go to next, which is handball. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Oh, we're going to include a sport that is the most basic, stupid thing I've ever heard of. You just hit a ball against a wall. Hey, no. Nope. Bye. If you spent your whole life working on handball, you're a loser. Bye. We're not doing handball. So stupid. Jeu de paume. I don't know what that is. And so we're going to have to look it up. Jeu de paume. Sport. What is that? Oh, no, nowadays known as real tennis. Hey, call it tennis. Call it tennis. And we'll keep tennis. Tennis is weirdly fun. Can be fun to watch if you know what's going on. Mario Tennis is a great game. And that has nothing to do with this, but I'll allow tennis. But tennis is later on this list too. Is it different at all? Maybe I'm looking at a stupid, outdated list. Okay, well, we'll delete that because it's dumb. If tennis comes up later, we'll talk about tennis then. But we're deleting that one for now. Okay, I'm unorganized as shit. Shut up. Judo. Sure, we can keep judo. Any martial arts stuff. I mean, I don't want to have too many because there's like Taekwondo, judo, karate, boxing. All these fighting ones. Let's pick like one or two. We don't need 10 different fighting things. Like MMA, I think would be good to have instead of any of these. But judo, fine. I'm not familiar enough with it, but we can keep it because it's fighting and fighting's entertaining and cool. However, now karate's on the list. Okay. No, we're consolidating these. In fact, karate, no, we're getting rid of judo. We're putting karate in there. And that's just going to cover all the martial arts. We're just going to call it all karate because that's what we did in the 90s. when the Karate Kid came out and when the Three Ninjas came out, every type of fighting with like your hands chopping was karate. And so we're calling all of those karate, and we're just consolidating all of them because that's easier and better. And I'm benevolent dictator of the world and I can do whatever I want. So shush. And I even see Taekwondo down on the list here too. Hey, no. And I know people who listen to Joe Rogan too much are going to be like, well, actually the technique is shush. We're keeping one form of fighting, and it should be MMA, and you can include everything in MMA. We don't need a bunch of different titles for all these different things. Okay? So bye, judo. You're gone. Sorry, you're gone. Next on the list. Oh, I forgot this one. Fencing. Now, I'm of two minds about this because when I was a kid, we used to have this thing called Geo Safari, and it would go through a bunch of sports that they would go through in the Olympics, and you had to guess which sport was which. It was a way of memorizing and learning. I was homeschooled, whatever, shut up. And I thought fencing was cool. I was like, Mom, what's fencing? She's like, well, it's essentially sword fighting. And I'm like, okay, sword fighting sounds sick. That sounds like the best sport ever. I want to do that. And she's like, well, no, you're not a multi-billionaire, so we're not going to do that. And I said, I'm upset with you. And it looks kind of cool. They have the masks on. The weird white things are strange, but they could not have ruined anything cooler than like sword fighting on the surface. Sounds like the coolest thing ever. Oh, fencing. But why can't we call it sword fighting? Why do we have to call it fencing? Why do we have to lamify all these names? Canoeing, equestrian, call it horseback riding. Fencing, you can't call it sword fighting? No, we're fixing this, all right? First of all, we're adding fire. Of course, we're adding fire to the tips of the swords. So all the swords you dip them in fire, and then you fight each other. And you have to dress up like a pirate. Fixed it. Boom. And the rules are going to be better. You don't win unless someone's bleeding. You take the little tips, those little ball tip things at the end of the swords off so you can actually get stabbed. Let's make it interesting. Okay. If we're going to do sword fighting, we're going to actually sword fight. We're not going to call it fencing. We're changing the name to sword fighting, and we're changing it because right now it's stupid and dumb. And I'm fixing it for you. So we add fire. Add some stakes involved, some danger elements, and boom, fixed it for you. You're welcome. Okay, now lacrosse. Okay, lacrosse, no. We already have field hockey. You can keep one or the other, so I'll let the committee decide on that one too. It's either lacrosse or field hockey. It's the same fucking sport, okay? We're not keeping both. So you committee can decide, but decide amongst yourselves. What's next? Modern pentathlon. What? I don't know what that is. Is that like a math contest? Oh no, it's shooting. Okay, we can keep shooting. That's what it looks like. I don't know if I'm correct. Oh no, I don't know what this. Oh, it's 3 events: fencing, swimming, fencing. Right? Nope. Hey, nope. Nope. We already have all these sports on the thing. We need to be efficient. I'm not keeping modern pentathlon. Bye. We already have all these sports involved. I don't need another sport. Unless you want to add fire to it and we consolidate all the sports into modern pentathlon, we're not doing another thing that includes all the other sports that we've already done. So fuck you. God, you stupid, pretentious Olympic people. Next is polo. Polo's like golf on a horse. You know what? I'm of two minds about polo. I think on one hand, it's like a rich people stupid sport, but on the other hand, it's like, okay, I'd be fine with that. You can do polo because it's like you're hitting a ball off a horse. It's got to be hard. So fine, we'll keep polo. Rhythmic gymnastics. Nope. Bye. Hey, bye. Rhythmic. That's the ribbon thing. We're not doing that. We're not doing rhythmic gymnastics. That does not count. It's gone. Sorry. It's stupid. You're throwing a ribbon around. It's dancing. You're dancing, and that's not a sport. Unless there's fire involved. If your baton has fire on it, I'll consider it. But until it has fire, don't come talk to me. What is this list I'm going off of? The next one says rackets. No, I'm not even going to look that up. Hey, rackets, dude? No. Oh, can you hear that? Beth is grinding something up in the background. I'm going to go off the Olympics website now. I'm switching lists because the one I'm going off of seems a little dated. It's from Wikipedia. I don't know what I was thinking. Road cycling. Well, we already did that. Rowing. Nope, rowing's gone. That's just like canoeing. Hey, see you later. And that one's kind of controversial because everyone's like, oh, it's athletic. You have rowing teams at schools. I don't give a shit. It's boring and dumb. You're in a stupid boat. Unless you want to add fire or crocodiles or sharks, would be cool if you have to row across the ocean. That's the sport. You have to row across the ocean. Then I'm down. I'm down for that. And there's sharks involved, and maybe you shoot torpedoes at the rowing people. I could be down for that. And then we could do it. But the way it stands right now, no, thank you. So I guess that's one we could fix. So we can fix rowing. Next is rugby. Obviously, we're keeping rugby. Rugby's dope. Rugby's really, it's very sporty. That's like an actual sporty sport. I'm cool for keeping rugby. That one's obvious. We're keeping rugby. Next is sailing. Hey, what's up with all the boat stuff, guys? Hey, what's up with all the boat stuff? Sailing isn't a sport. You're on a boat. You're in your boating shoes, and you're wearing a cardigan tied around your shoulders, and you're wearing a pastel pink colored shirt and shorts, and then you don't have socks on when you're wearing shoes, and you float around and you drink Leinenkugels. No, that's not a sport. Goodbye, sailing. We're flushing you away. Stupid sport. Jesus, I can't believe these made the cut. Who decided this? All right, next, shooting. Okay, now shooting's obviously the coolest thing. I'm totally down to keep shooting. Now, we need to update it a little bit. I think it's a little dated. Clay pigeons is stupid. And how do we do that, do you ask? Shooting is one of the coolest sports in the Olympics, but we need to update it. And the way we do that is instead of shooting clay pigeons, there's pedophiles. Now, hear me out. We import pedophiles and rapists from across the world who are getting the death penalty, and they have to run away, and you have to shoot them as they're running away. And is this macabre and dark? Yes. But is it also fair? Yeah. Hey, you're a pedophile. I don't give a shit. We throw pedophiles out there and you shoot the pedophiles. And that's what we do. We replace the clay pigeons with pedophiles. And now it's an interesting sport. Requires a little of athleticism. You have to hunt them down, shoot them. Boom. And no one's going to be mad at that. That should be a punishment. Hey, man, you molested somebody. Guess what? You're getting the death penalty. Oh, okay. That blows. Yeah, it does. But the best part is you're going to be participating in the Olympics, getting shot by the finest shooters on earth. Oh, well, Jesus. Yep. And that's how we take care of you guys. And now it's part of the death penalty, and it's ethical and it's efficient. Okay. And we kill more pedophiles, and we discourage people from becoming pedophiles by doing such a thing. So, boom, fixed it. Replace clay pigeons with pedophiles. Shooting's now one of the coolest sports to watch. Next is skateboarding. We're keeping skateboarding. And why do I say that? Because I love Tony Hawk. I used to love skateboarding as a kid. I sucked at it. But skateboarding, cool. It requires a lot of talent. You're rolling around on a board that skates with wheels. That's a lot of work. So we're keeping skateboarding. That one's easy. Sport climbing, same thing. I'm guessing you're just climbing around from rock to rock. It's not easy. So we'll keep sport climbing. These next couple are going to be easy, I think. Surfing, hell yeah, we're keeping surfing. But again, adding fire. You have to surf through fire. And we're going to throw sharks in the water, great white sharks. And we'll go to Australia. And there'll be a lot of guys and a lot of girls doing these surfing things. And we'll put fire around the waves. And then there's sharks who are hungry, and we don't feed them for days. Now surfing's cool. Swimming. This one I have a tough one with because it's like track and field. There's a couple events that are really interesting to watch, like the medley or the 100-meter freestyle sprint, or 400 meters ones are cool. Obviously Michael Phelps made all that cool. I used to be a swimmer myself. I was good at breaststroke. I seriously was. I was great at it. No big deal. But the long distance ones, we'll get rid of those. Anything over 400 meters for those, see you later. swimming. You're cool enough, but you're on thin ice as well. Oh, also, we're going to add sharks in the water. Not super aggressive sharks, but we'll add like hammerhead sharks and stuff so that when they give those underwater shots, you also can see sharks. And then we can include it in Shark Week. And you teach people about how sharks can survive in chlorinated pools or saltwater pools. And then it makes an interesting element for the swimmers, and their skin looks better when they leave because it's saltwater. So that's a possibility. Next is table tennis, ping pong. All right, call it ping pong. Hey, call it ping pong because that's what it is. Ping pong, it actually is kind of exciting to watch if we're being real. But I'm sorry, it's not an Olympic sport. It's not. It's like including like cards in sports, gambling in sports, in the Olympics. We're not doing that. We're not including table tennis. And if we are including it, we're not calling it that. We're calling it ping pong because that's the name. Only way we would change this and you already guessed it, light the ball on fire. Okay? The ball's on fire. And there's confetti and there's distractions that distract the players. And we add some interesting elements. You get power-ups or something. You get a special paddle if you hit a good shot. And then that adds an interesting element. But you can't have to, okay. But I'm going to delete it for now, and I'll let the committee try to fix it and bring it back to me when I'm benevolent dictator, and they can come back to me and be like, all right, here's the changes we recommend, and I will review those changes. So it has potential to stay, but we're not going to keep it for now. Next is Taekwondo. We already talked about this. No, sorry. Judo, Taekwondo, karate. No, you're all in one sport. All right. And in fact, the logos on the Olympic website for karate and Taekwondo are the same. They're just reversed. So shut up. We're keeping mixed martial arts is the deal. Tennis. We already talked about that. Tennis can stay. Tennis is cool. Track cycling. Nope. Hey, it's all cycling. All right. Mountain biking, BMXing, road cycling, track cycling. No. It's all in the same thing. And there's like 3 events. We're going to keep like 3. There's going to be one that's like off-road, and then one like a long distance one, then like a sprint, and then, around like on a mountain. And then there's like one around the track. Okay. That's what we're doing for track cycling. And they're not going to wear their stupid pointy helmets because those look dumb, and you're allowed to juice. That's the only sport you're 100% allowed to juice for, just because I feel like it. And I'm a benevolent dictator of the world. And if you want to take an Adderall beforehand or some other performance enhancing drug, be my guest. We're getting towards the end here. Trampoline. Whoops. That can't be real, but it is. This is actually infuriating to me. Trampoline, dude? That's on the website. No. Trampoline is one of 3 disciplines in the sport of gymnastics. Absolutely not. And I know I said I'd add trampolines in the gymnastics sport, but only in certain areas. But that's not going to be an actual thing. If you just sit there and bounce and you do flips and stuff, absolutely not. That's not a sport. Goodbye. You're not an athlete. You're stupid and you're dumb. And I also hate you. Unless we had fire. If you have to jump through fire hoops, I would maybe consider that. In order to put out the fire, you have to jump to like a fire extinguisher location. But for now, no, it's gone. I'm deleting you. Sorry, trampoline. Triathlon, no. The entire Olympics thing is triathlon. I don't want to watch multiple sports in one sport. All right. We're watching a bunch of sports as it is. I don't need 3 more things in a thing in and of itself. So no, bye. See you later. Jesus. Make this too complicated. God, these sports are stupid. Volleyball. Yeah, we're keeping volleyball. Volleyball's cool. The sand volleyball is fun to watch. That's a pretty easy one. That's a basic sport. Water polo. Is it the dumbest sport of all time? Yes. Is it hard? Yes. Requires a lot of athletic ability? Yes. However, we're going to change it. We're going to make it less hard. There's going to be a bottom to the pool so you can run around. So it looks funnier. And also the goals are on fire. The goals will be on fire and you have to throw it through a fire goal. And maybe the ball will be on fire too. You cover it with oil and you light it on fire. That way you have to throw it fast. And then you can scamper around on the pool floor instead of having to tread water the whole time. Boom, fixed it. There we go. We'll keep water polo. Weightlifting, it needs some work. So we'll keep weightlifting, but it has to be like the weightlifting games or like Tough Mudder or something. We have to throw like a barrel of beer across a river or something. And like, that's how you decide how strong someone is. Like just lifting the weights by themselves or deadlifting or curling, like that's boring and stupid. And I don't want to see that. So That can be part of it, I suppose, to like qualify. But then when you get in it, you have to like whoever can curl the biggest box of birds with one arm wins the gold medal. And you count the amount of birds in there. That's what I want to see. Let's put some spice into this, add some fire. If you're powerlifting, add some fire. It makes it way more interesting. I'm telling you, fire makes everything more interesting. So I'm doing this all for free, by the way. You have to curl a box of birds. And then last but not least, we have wrestling. Wrestling obviously is staying. It's the oldest sport, I believe, in the Olympics since 1896. I don't see any that are older than that. So we're obviously keeping weightlifting. And there we go, guys. I just fixed the Olympics for you. I just fixed them. We were so efficient with this. I deleted, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, like 18 or 19. I cut it in half, essentially. Maybe let's just say 20. I'll cut 20. I'm not going to count all of them right now. I can't. I lost track. Shut up. It doesn't matter. Also, there's a couple of these I think I got wrong. Whatever, because I went off 2 different lists. Shush. All right, I fixed it, and I deleted about 20 games out of here. And that's about half. So now it's going to be way more entertaining. Oh, also, I missed one. 3x3 basketball. Bye. Nope. We're not doing that. No 3x3 basketball. Play regular basketball. You can't have 2 of the same sport and the same thing. That's like what they were doing with triathlon and then BMX racing and then cycling and then mountain biking. Shush. Pick one. And then canoeing and boating and then canoe kayaking. No. We need to be more efficient. And that's what I just did. I just fixed the Olympics. So you guys can look forward to this. This is going to happen soon enough. When I'm benevolent dictator of Earth, I fixed the Olympics. But for now, they're stupid. For now, the Olympics are dumb. And they need help. And they should go to a therapist. Who cares about the Olympics? Who cares about sports in general? Yes, it's fun to root for your team. It's fun to, get behind someone and to support them. And it's fun to get angry when things don't go your way. It's fun to go, hey, she didn't get to participate. She didn't participate on the team, or hey, she didn't get to participate in the sport because she didn't follow the rules. But at the end of the day, that's not what matters. Who cares? Sports are sports. They're not the end all be all. There's more important things in life. You have family, you have friends, you have your job, you have your life goals to get after. And just because someone tweeted something on Twitter about how they're mad about something and it resonated with you doesn't mean you need to join in that conversation and make a fool of yourself and drum it up into something that it doesn't need to be. It's all bullshit. There's way more important things in life than that. And the Olympics are not an important thing. I'm sorry. Until you fix them, until you implement my rules, they will not be important. So until I'm benevolent dictator of the world and I implement these things, then the Olympics don't matter. But focus on the good things. Stop pretending to be mad because someone didn't participate in a sport that you couldn't give 2 shits about. You're not actually mad that Simone Biles didn't participate. You don't really care. You're pretending. Be honest with yourself. You're pretending because you want to feel good and you want to agree with someone. And so that makes you feel better because you're in agreeance. It's all dumb. Anyways, that's it for me. Just be sure to like and subscribe. Don't watch the Olympics. The Olympics are stupid. People are stupid. The news is stupid. The only thing that really matters at the end of the day is who you are as a person and where you're going with your life. The big picture. And it's something we all have to constantly remind ourselves of. I'm doing it every day. But just make sure that you are staying focused onto the immediate things that are important to you in your life. And you have one thing to look forward to, and that is when I, Matt Thomas, become benevolent dictator of the world and decide what happens in the Olympics forever. There's going to be a lot of fire